Broadcasting live from the backstretch at Saratoga, this is the Handicappers Report. Brought to you by CapitalOTBBet.com, the premier online wagering site in New York State. CapitalOTBBet.com. Sign up today. And the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany. Make it to the Clubhouse Racebook.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Handicappers Report alongside Seth and I am Anthony Mormino, coming to you on another, I would say, pleasant day, because in the Capital District at 6:30 a.m., I was hit with fog and a tremendous level of humidity for 6:30 a.m. And it's a little sticky now. I don't know if it's going to rise. That would be bad. But some rain showers, finally, may be helpful, etc. But a little stickier today than the last couple of days.
Vastly different here than close around, from what I understand yesterday. The races, and I don't know, middle of the card, I guess. It came down pretty good, but only for about 5 minutes. It came down, stopped. But from talking to people who are mere miles away, it poured fairly close to here. But on track yesterday, it was just kind of a quick shower blew through. So we got lucky yesterday.
We did. And we might be in that window where they'll say, like, for a Monday or Tuesday, a little rain would be good.
Absolutely.
For the turf courses.
Oh, no question about it.
I know if our little plot of land didn't have sprinklers, I'd have hay. It's been very, very dry. We had maybe the oddest day yesterday weather-wise. I could see very ominous clouds. I could hear the thunder. I did not see any lightning. And all I got was like spritzes of water. I was waiting for a downpour for the lawn. Never came yesterday in the greater Capital District, although I understand the western part got hit probably with that same 5 minutes blast that we received up here. And for the second time this morning, there goes the Armada.
Jim Bonte is just he and the dog, it looks like, in the six-seater.
Tina's been very AWOL. I haven't seen Tina too often. And usually the three of them in the first seat, first row, I guess, etc. Must be bench seating, so they can sit anywhere. So that's pretty nice.
I can't give a heads up. Nobody gave me a ride yesterday. Somebody drove by me though, and I didn't get a good look at them. Otherwise, I'd be giving them the business.
They probably wanted to ensure you did not get a good look at them.
That's right.
That might have been a part. It's like the people that steal gas and put like a hefty bag over their license plate before they go to the gas station and then steal it and pirate it away and nothing. This person was like, I got to go really fast. That's Seth Merrow. He can't make me or I'm in trouble.
Yeah, I don't want to pick him up.
I don't want to pick him up, which why would that be a thought anyways? I mean,
I can't figure out
even if you're in a hurry, you can't go that fast.
I can't figure out why people drive by people. It's crazy. Sometimes they don't have a seat. That's perfectly fine. But when you got two spare seats, it's like, come on, help a fellow out.
There's got to be a Naira or Fox camera around. We can get this person. We could get this person. It's a tough day with cameras.
Let's go to the videotape.
Let's go to the videotape and be like, oh, Nelly.
Just a quick update on our standings going through yesterday. Irad Ortiz, 42 wins. He and his brother, it's going to be fun the last couple of weeks. Jose Ortiz, 39, 42 to 39. Then you go down to Flavian with 26. Ricardo Santana, who everybody agrees is having a very nice meet, 23. And Joel Rosario with 19. Chad Brown leads the trainers pretty safely. I mean, it's not a huge lead, but 6-win lead, 22 to 16 over Linda Rice and Todd Pletcher. They both have 16. Miguel Clement, a good meet with 12. And then there's a three-way tie at 10. Joe Sharp, Bill Mott, and Mark Cassie, all with 10. Had Mark on yesterday. Nice interview. If folks didn't catch it, check it out. Talked about his runners coming up in the Alabama, but he also has the favorite and another horse in the King's Plate up at Woodbine. So it was nice. And we talked about some of his other runners as well, including Sandman, who's going to try the turf down in the Nashville Derby. So that was on yesterday's Racing Across America. You can check that out. I might as well roll into who we have today on Racing Across America. It's our Thursday visit from the DRF team. Mike Welch will be in at 10 o'clock, previewing some of the stakes action, also a little review as well. Kevin Cox, the Brooklyn Cowboy, will come in for a little handicapping action. And Dave Donk, Trail of Gold, looked really good yesterday in the Statue of Liberty version of the New York Sire Stakes. We'll talk about that and more with Dave Donk. Oh, top of the hour, Racing Across America.
Was that the part owner? He's part owner?
That could be, because I think his father was in the winner's circle with him, so that would make sense.
And I think, if memory serves me right, that's the Incurable Optimist people. And I've said this many times before. In 1998, this is, with the Eclipse Award people, not enough of them follow racing every day. He was clearly the 2-year-old champion. I mean, it's not even a contest. And the argument about turf wars and everything, you look at Incurable Optimist 2-year-old campaign when he got to the dirt, he and Big Brown have put in the 2 most scintillating 2-year-old turf races I've seen up here. But so that I think that's the case. I think that's the white silks with the black dots diagonal. I think pretty sure that's the group.
I will leave it to you. I have no idea on the silks on that.
No recollection of that.
No, it is not coming up in the memory bank.
So I guess you know what race he was prepping for, got injured and retired. No? Well, it was pretty noteworthy.
Okay.
The Guineas. That's how good he was. And you asked David, I don't think they were afraid. They were there to take the hardware down. They might have been the favorite. Think about that.
Was he in New York, Brent?
I think he was at a Miss Turlington. I'm not sure. Now, 4 Stars All-Star did do it. Did take down the Irish Guineas. I think still to this day the only American to win a classic. But Incurable Optimist was over there getting ready and injured, retired. I don't think he ever ran a 3. I think that was going to be his 3-year-old debut. But I'm just off the top of my head. David Donk will be able to speak to that better.
Absolutely. I'll make a note.
Good chance he remembers. Because I know Awad, he said that his old answering machine used to be, thanks for calling for the house that Awad paid for. And what's truly unique about Awad, who didn't have a great win percentage? I'm pretty sure he holds the track and stakes record for the Million and the Sword Dancer.
Oh.
And he was like 6 for 40 on turf. And he holds the track record for 2 of the most premier races on grass in America.
But I'd actually pulled up his lifetime record. And, in this day and age, how about this? 70 starts for Awad, 14 wins, 10 seconds, 11 thirds, $3.2 million. And he was done in 1998.
Right. So he was batting like 20%. He was not, but he had his day. The day, I think Pat Day rode him in the Sword Dancer. That was like this summer. That turf course was rock hard. I think he went 223 and change, which is faster than Secretariat went 1.5 miles.
He was traveling like a machine.
That's why raw numbers are shaky at best.
Yeah.
But what is it, Arlington Million? 158, 157?
It's just the record with the finishing. It doesn't, not, I don't have a chart. I don't have lifetime PPs.
I understand.
I just
so
have
what did you get then? I want to see it.
It's the Equibase profile.
Oh, the profile, that first page before you click on races.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's not. It's the first 3 pages with him.
Well, for him, just rattle off a couple of his other wins of note besides.
Well, as you say, Sword Dancer in 1997. The Million was in 1995.
He really what for
the Manhattan 1995, the Pan American 1995. So
that's you're pretty
Hialeah Turf Cup at Hialeah in 1994. the Bougainvillea.
That's
down
30
at
plus years ago.
Hialeah.
So you can see
the
where
Maryland Million at Laurel, obviously the Secretariat at Arlington.
was a wad Rye Hill Farm.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's they're Maryland people. When you said Maryland Million, I was like, that's Rye Hill Farm. Then he's definitely because that was the people that Woody used to train for. That David got.
Dave was with Woody.
I think Rye Hill had what home builder, whatever. But you can see there where, it's not one of the most dynamic turf records, but on two specific days, he was as good as it gets.
Pretty good turf record, though. Again, overall, just the number of starts and the longevity compared to these days.
I'm not sure if Maple rode him for the Million. I think he might have, but I think Pat Day was aboard him for the Sword Dancer. David will probably have that too.
Oh, I'm sure. I would not doubt that for a second. Now I have to.
Oh, wait a second. Do you know what you two have in common?
We're both Jets fans.
Correct. That could be the whole show.
Watch the interview.
The Ravens. For those who, like I said, the bad television, which actually is entertaining.
The mic automatically went on.
Talking to guests off camera, which I know is awful television. I get a riot at it. And now I'm going to have the Ravens voice. And thankfully, I won't be here when my beloved Rams play the Ravens. Because the Rams got lucky last time the Rams played the Ravens, the year they won the Super Bowl, Lamar Jackson didn't play. Or I think the Rams might have been in a world of hurt, but they played.
And again, our director
is a gigantic Ravens fan. So.
As a podcast.
So once Seth got the Jets thing right, he was rolling. So you're gonna touch on that? You have to touch on it.
Oh, I said watch the interview.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he your first guest?
Second. 10:20. No, actually 10:40. Third guest.
Oh, I can see it all. I'm usually 10:36, so
okay.
I cannot wait. Can I email you, text you questions as they come up for me? I'll produce. Hold on. We have Anthony from Queens has a question. He wants to know how hard this was. Any statewide business?
Yeah, but I don't know what I did with the.
All right.
We'll do it after.
Let me quote Bob Weems. Ladies and gentlemen, you're on your own.
Yeah, we'll do it after we get the play of the day.
But up next, we'll have the Paulo play of the day.
And they're off. Chevrolet, Mazda, and Ford right now at the DePaula Auto Group. Take off the savings you need on the vehicle that you want. New cars, trucks, SUVs, hybrids, and all electric. Delivered with DePaula savings. And the DePaula Auto Group has hundreds of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Remember, DePaula can service any make and model and has over 100 service bays. So buy DePaula. Think DePaula for all of your automotive needs. DePaula Auto Group. Chevrolet, Mazda, Ford, and pre-owned. DePaula.com.
Hey everybody, Steve Bick back with you for the Thursday DePaula play of the day. Also back in the car as we hightail it to Toronto for Saturday's Kings Plate. Meanwhile, back at the spot, decent second today as Jenna Antonucci and Javier Castellano parlayed the inside trip into a runner-up for Out of the Fog. So a little bit of jingle in the coffers. For Thursday, I'm going to give you two plays, basically, because I know the weather is a little iffy. So let's go to the 9th race for starters. It's an optional claimer starter allowance going 1 mile and a 16th. And Final Denial is a ridiculous 10-1. And the return to grass with Kendrick for Horacio De Paz was as good as any of the favorites have displayed here. So the 5, if everything stays on grass, Final Denial, 10-1, your play of the day.
And they're off. Chevrolet, Mazda, and Ford right now at the DePaula Auto Group. Take off the savings you need on the vehicle that you want. New cars, trucks, SUVs, hybrids, and all electric. Delivered with DePaula savings. And the DePaula Auto Group has hundreds of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Remember, DePaula can service any make and model and has over 100 service bays. So buy DePaula. Think DePaula for all of your automotive needs. DePaula Auto Group. Chevrolet, Mazda, Ford, and pre-owned. DePaula.com.
And so it should be noted that the paper clips have saved me from going off the road. I'm going, why am I looking at a yellow paper clip? That's Del Mar. The day's action is always red because somebody at my house stole the green one. So I immediately recognize I'm in trouble. Steve Bick's giving his play of the day, earpiece out, mic off, and there was the red guy sitting in the back of the car.
Whereas I have no color coding, but it says 814 right there at the top of the page.
But this is okay. So in a pile, what is easier to pick up? The red guy you think sticks out a little bit, which, by the way, that's what I've said. I am amazed. Now, I am on the, the anal retentive arena, but I tell people, I go, I don't know if it's like I suffer from it or because I don't think that I do, but I think that I learned that it was productive. And so I do it. I don't think I'm naturally that way. Our son and wife might say, no, he's not naturally that way. Just, look at the closet. He's just everywhere. Books everywhere. I told you the story once before that I have a nephew who works for the NBA now. And he came to Christmas dinner the first time. And I was like, oh my goodness, I have a letter from the David Stern. And my wife's like, he'll never find it in his office. 5 seconds. Boom, pulled it out, showed it to him. He's like, how do you do that? I go, I know where things are. Business at hand.
Today,
are you an orderly person?
No.
Okay.
No, not
all
at
right,
all.
All right, I don't know.
If I had that letter from David Stern and they said he will never be able to find it, they would be correct. Today, Clubhouse Racebook played board contest. So 7-Eleven Central Avenue in Albany again throughout the remainder of the season. Lots of great action every day at the Clubhouse Racebook, including tomorrow, the Win-A-Bet contest at the Clubhouse Racebook. Saturday, the Bounty Bet returns. It's the late pick 5 up here at Saratoga. Play it with your Capital OTB bet account, and you get a shot at the juicy bounty money there, potentially. Also, down at the Clubhouse Racebook, it is the King of the Hill contest on Saturday. So make sure to stop on by if that's one of your options on Saturday for racing action. Also, Saturday, Fan Appreciation Day at the Gallop Inn. If you're a patron out in that direction, stop by and say hello and give us our chance to say thank you to you. Always a lot of fun. Food, vouchers, contests. Fan Appreciation Day, Gallop Inn on Saturday and Sunday at the Clubhouse Racebook. It's the Knockout Challenge. There's also a syndicate special, and teams have been picked. Again,
if New Lebanon wasn't as far away as it is, because that's a pretty good haul for me, just because of the name, I would go there.
It is a good name.
Gallop Inn is so awesome.
Yeah, I will give them credit there.
If I'm ever got to do a project out that way, that's near the state line, and it's not an easy, I-90 to get to. But if I'm ever out there, even if I get within 20 miles of it, I'm stopping in and having lunch just by the name itself. Tremendous job.
I agree.
Tremendous job.
Came up with a good one and makes for a good spot to have an easy bet.
Yes. Oh, yes. All right. Ready for today's action?
I think
is it 358? I missed that in the production meeting. Yes, I didn't miss it. I just was hesitant. I'll tell you one thing. I should look this up. We have had a bevy of 9 furlong dirt races kick off the cards.
I think you're right. Yeah.
I mean, that's, the reason I bring it up is, distance dirt races is, I think even in the, remember the old days with the stallions, there was 5 classifications. There was like brilliant, something, classic. And the last 2 that you could win a lot of beers with were solid and professional. And they're gone, clearly. Obviously, we just, long distance dirt racing isn't much of a thing. Birdstone is a fun race, but it's an anachronism.
Well, that whole thing, and you used to be able to rely on it for the dosage and whatnot, the Derby for a long time. That's all chef the race.
You want to know what 2 I think was the stake through the heart was when Funny Side and Smarty Jones won back-to-back, and they were distorted humor and elusive quality who were like 7 furlong milers at the max. I think that was the end. That was the stake through the heart.
Yeah.
The opener, 3-year-old fillies, open company, maiden special weights, going 9 on the dirt.
3, 4, 6, and 5 for me. Dance It on top. The morning line favorite in here, and probably deservedly so off the first couple of starts. They were well spaced, so the last was a comebacker of more than a year of a layoff, but it was improved effort. And I always say it: if you have a very lightly raced 2 or 3-year-old, and then they get a break and come back, they can come back improved. That was the case with Dance It. If we get further improvement, which I don't think is out of the question, I'll put that one on top. Regba in the second slot. Also, Todd Pletcher. I'm just kind of relying on the numbers here. The finishing positions, well, in the last 2 haven't been much. You go back before that, a couple of seconds and a third that were okay. But overall, the numbers are good. The last couple numbers, again, with finishing positions that weren't much, but with numbers that were okay relative to this group. So I'll lean there as well. An absolute honor for Safi Joseph. Comes in off a nice third-place finish when stretched out to this trip last time with an improved numbers, a series of improved numbers, but nice improvement last time when going to the 9 furlong. So in the opener, 3, 4, 6, and 5.
And by the way, my Oregon jockey, I said there's no way they scratched the horse.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
Go ahead.
If the guy is in town as an exercise rider.
Okay,
because
I don't know. But I told you, I'm not interested in stories around the racetrack, but that one would have been the one a decade that I'd be intrigued about. But they scratched the horse. And now I'm intrigued, was the horse here? Because the races were at Indiana beforehand. And that's one of the things I've always been interested in is if there was a chart developed, the names of the horses on the ground. Because I think you need permission to leave. There's paperwork involved with leaving and coming in. So that data exists, etc. I'm 5-2-3 here. Green Jobs, my top pick for Chad Brown. Now, this is first-time dirt, but I have Medaglia d'Oro on top. But just a little thing about Colonel John. When Colonel John got to the Kentucky Derby, because Southern California had, all synthetic, and they're like, he's never run on dirt. I'm like, he's a son of tis now. And then one of the best rides Garrett Gomez ever gave was when Colonel John won the Travers up here by the smallest of whiskers. But so I am not worried about Green Jobs, first time dirt, first time, distance of ground at a price. Green Jobs, my top pick. Bon Vivant for second. They take blinkers off, and then Dance It, making the second start since 24. 5-2-3.
Race number 2 on Thursday afternoon. Conditional claimers, they'll travel 7 furlongs.
In one of the years, I went about 1 for 12 at the Breeders' Cup. Tamara Cruz winning the mile on Friday was one of the W's, was the W. Norm Cassie, well, what'd you think of the claim of foul? I thought it would be dismissed pretty quickly. I had a vested interest, so I don't like to speak when I have a vested interest.
Was that the only one on the day yesterday where they kind of came together? Yeah, I didn't think there was enough there.
All right, I feel better because it went my way, but I felt as if it was supposed to go my way. But as I said, I had a vested interest. It was the longer price.
The only reason to continue to look was it was a narrow victory.
Right. And it was one of those weird things. That was a trainer objection. Norm lodged it, not the jockey. So 2-1-5 for me.
And I also wondered if Norm was in town or whether that was via
on the phone. I'm watching it on my phone. I don't know what I saw, so I better.
I mean, it was actually worth, but if it was really worth it, the jockey probably would have called. But it was worth making him take a look. Now, I
will say one thing on that front quickly, which is rare for me. There are some very chummy relationships in life, and I do believe that some might not claim foul against some. So I like that. Norm Cassie sends out my top pick, $50,000 claim. I like the effort at Churchill Downs. Comes in here for 30. This might be the right level. It does list gelding. And, that race on July 18th, according to some trainers, Seth, that is viable. That, 30 days is 28 days, etc. That seems kind of, call your man Jay up and see if that's if that's accurate.
Who did I have? I've asked a couple of trainers. Gary Contessa,
like 20 days, 14 days.
It's shorter than people might think.
Yeah, it's shorter than I would think. Golden Symphony for second. Race goes through that Brad Cox runner. I've said this before. I'm less negative about the rail going 7/8 as I was 15 years ago. And then Ryad Moon, 215 for me.
4, 1, 2, and 6. I'll put Confabulation on top for Linda Rice, second off the claim. Off the claim, they bounced up. And they came back off a long, again, you don't claim in January and think, yeah, let's get it started at Saratoga for our next start. So they were able to come back for the waiver. I think they benefited from that fitness-wise, hopefully. And now they go back down to the level of the claim, which I think sets things up very nicely for today. Kendrick having a good meet, so we'll put Confabulation on top. Golden Symphony is the morning line favorite for Brad Cox off a nice win, Belmont at Aqueduct. And off of that win, drops down a little bit, so seems live. And Tiz Marcus in the third spot. Yeah, you draw a line through that. Had trouble in that last race and draw a line through that. As you say, the first time gelding symbol is intriguing, and the move down the claiming ladder. 4, Jake Provenzano, a Flying P. Again, shopping for some wins, you would think. In the second, 4, 1, 2, and 6.
On to the third. 3 rolls it up. Maiden special weights, dashing 5.5 on the turf.
4, 3, 6, and 2. Our Starry Night on top. A couple of decent tries down at Churchill on the grass for Phil Bauer, who hasn't started too many up here, but he's done okay so far at the meet. The debut effort was pretty good. The follow-up was okay in that the horse showed a little speed before fading at a mile. But now we get back to the sprint distance, which was clearly a little more productive in the career debut. I think this one in the third start with the cut back to the sprint distance is going to be very interesting in here this afternoon. Hellacious in the second spot. A couple of win early siblings. Partylicious won the career debut. Royal Escher was third in debut and won the second start. We'll see if this one can live up to that sibling, winning in the second start of a pretty good-looking debut where the horse took some money at 3-2 and had some trouble. This one at 9, I'm wondering off that scenario whether 9-2 is going to live up to that morning line price. Because, again, I think the scenario Pletcher runner now, that first start was on the dirt, so tries the turf today. That may scare people away a little bit, but I think Hellacious is logical in here. Quando, 15 tries, hasn't gotten it done yet. But, seems to be in decent form number-wise over the last few starts. I think probably fits in the conversation. I have it 4, 3, 6, and 2.
We have a couple of horses. I think, Seth, I heard you say number 2 is your fourth pick. Is that correct?
Yep, you got it.
That's my top pick, 2, 5, 4. I like the debut. The question for me, July 5th to August 14th is probably near the window that I'm not expecting muscle regression. 3 weeks, I'm thinking muscle regression. So we might be outside of this and a real chance to run well. We ran very well on debut at nearly 9-1 to be runner-up. So in the dark, my top pick, and I don't think it hurts at all to have Joel Rosario on a horse who might have good closing kick. Leading role for second, Bill Maury's runner. Debuted on turf. It went terribly, but laid off for 11 months. Now, you don't know that it was that race or a workout, etc. But leading role, I'm going to Oscar performance I like for third, Our Starry Night. Phil Bauer's runner, you talk to 6 weeks, you get the muscle regression, whatever, I don't know. Maybe it was the distance, shortens back up, 2, 5, 4.
All right, we'll head to a break and then come back and continue our look at the Thursday action. Stay tuned.
For more than 4 generations, Bruce Cerrone and his family have continued the 103-year tradition of delighting their local following and faithful summer crowd with the finest authentic Italian recipes. Classic Italian dishes made with the freshest ingredients, served in a home-like setting. Some things have changed in the last 103 years, but not Pinnell's commitment to the finest in Italian cuisine. Pinnell's Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, just minutes from the track.
The only thing better than watching the races is watching your own racehorse. With nearly 20 years experience in the racing industry, Bonaventure Stables' share-based ownership program enables everyday fans to become part owner of a thoroughbred for far less than you might think, with all the ownership perks at Saratoga, Belmont, Aqueduct, and other great tracks. Experience the thrill and lifestyle of owning your own thoroughbred racehorse. Learn more at bonaventurestables.com.
Want to get your career in horse racing off to a fast start? Well, the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program is your winning ticket. The Racetrack Industry Program has served as a springboard to some of the industry's most successful individuals. with a proven track record of job placement right out of college. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry, the Racetrack Industry Program can put you in the winner's circle.
Welcome back to the Handicappers Report on this Thursday morning from our Clare Court. Wow, the tram is loaded up. Folks enjoying the backstretch tour. I don't know if I've ever seen it that bad. Every seat's taken in there. And
it's fabulous. You should do it.
Yeah, a chance for a reminder if you haven't come up and taken advantage of breakfast. That's a nice part of the day. That's a nice part of the Saratoga season. You come up, you watch the horses work out. Our friend Laura Samil, I think she's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. She's over there kind of narrating things. But regardless, any day you come up and you can enjoy the breakfast. You can also come over and just sit in the box seats and bring your own breakfast. But the breakfast buffet is okay. But then you get the backstretch tour if you want to, and the breeding farm tour if you'd like that. Definitely worth the stop.
What time does it start?
That's a good question. I want to say 7.
All right, because 7 would work for me. I always take one morning where I go over to Oklahoma and spend the morning. And then it's a very early morning for me. I go over there and then come over to the set. But if it is 7, I could do that. I could have breakfast and come on over.
Relatively certain.
But that gentleman with the very unique voice at the British Open who used to stand duty for like 11 hours announcing, you got to be very tenuous about putting stuff in when you're doing a TV show.
Putting stuff in? What do you mean?
I never eat or drink before I do the show.
I'm with you there.
So you have to be very...
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Very careful.
Fourth race today at Saratoga on this Thursday. Optional claimer starter allowance, 7 furlongs, the trip.
I'd be interested to see who because I like very much my top pick. We don't agree at all. We have 6 of the 7 covered. I talked about this yesterday, 6 of 10. I love the 7 here, Shifty Gold. I mean, I'm like, gets back to sprinting, 3rd race in a cycle off 2 routes. I'm down the road. This is classic Mormino, 77, 67. Now we go forward. Now the buyer par says NA, which I have to say I think it does too regularly. They have to have plenty of data by now, but there's at least half of the races on a given day. NA shows up. Seth, do you even have the 7 for 4th?
I do not.
It's by far the best thing about this sport. Makes sense from the other side of the starting gate for 2nd. First off the claim for Bruce Brown, and then Arrow Star for Wayne Potts first off. But I got to tell you, I'm like 7-1-6. I like the 7 very much today.
Certainly rooting for that one. Whoa.
We had a car accident. I kid you not, folks.
Did we?
Yes.
Did the cart clip the car?
Right. No, I was the 2 golf carts. Turn the camera. Look at this. It finally happened.
Well,
I think the car is good. It's the 2 golf carts. You can see the guys. It's 2 golf carts.
Well, she got out of the car.
Yeah.
Well, we should get back to handicapping. Yeah. It's interesting for us, not for anybody else.
If we turn the camera around, it'd be interesting.
4, 3, 2, and 1. I put Bob's Carrot on top. It's an Asmussen runner that in the first 2 starts of this year, nice improvement start 1 to start 2. Start 2 is also moved down into the maiden claiming ranks. So that's, I would think, the knock. Now we move into saltier company. But the improvement shown last time, I think, is good enough to fit with this group. Pulled up some Asmussen stats from the last 3 years at Saratoga and dirt sprints. 20 for 89. Nice 22% there. So we'll see if this one can do it on the move up from Churchill off the good try last time. Bob's Carrot on top. Tactical Track Star in the 2nd spot. Linda Rice off the claim for owner Linda Rice. And the number last time, like the top pick, it was in a maiden claimer for 20. But moves to the barn of Linda Rice, now moves out of the barn of Brad Cox. So make of that what you will. But again, off of that number fired last time, I think Tactical Track Star fits. And Ranger Battalion in the 3rd spot. A couple of nice wins in the most recent starts. One of them at the $100,000 claiming level. It's also Linda Rice, Jose Ortiz on board. So certainly that one is worth a look. Shifty Gold, again, rooting for that one. Sean Flanagan, who I like to root for his horses. So I have no real knock there in a relatively competitive bunch. I'm 4, 3, 2, and 1.
All right, our man on the scene. Now, I will say this. There were no driver's license or insurance cards exchanged.
Well, she has pulled over, though.
Now,
so
okay. But she's not involved, right? Oh. Okay. She did get that. Must have hit it in reverse then. On to the fifth race. Claimers restricted, going the mile. And I think no sooner was the ink dry metaphor on David Aragona's 8 post position than 2 out of 3 won from outside.
Yeah.
And I needed to be another one.
I will tout Landauer as our friend Steve Bick's runner, and so certainly rooting for that one. But I went 2, 4, 7, and 1. True Connection on top. Couple of nice starts most recently, including when dropped down to this level last time at a mile and an eighth here at Saratoga. We're in a decent 4th, but the number paired up with the maiden breaking win in the start before. So it seems like, maybe that light bulb went on for this one. I think the numbers fired in the last 2 match up nicely with this group. And again, given what we saw last time at a mile and an eighth, the cutback and continuing at this level, I think is going to be productive. Dark Magic in the second spot, 12-1 on the morning line. First off the claim for Linda Rice. Now, was in for a maiden 30 tag, won. They picked it up for 30. They come back for 17. I think it could all wind up nicely here off of, the start 2 back, which was a decent number, and the start last time, which was a win. This one could be interesting off the claim for Linda Rice. And again, a nice morning line price that I think will hold up. Always be smart in the third spot. Tossed in a nice number last time, mile and an eighth in a starter allowance type of a event. There are some decent races underneath. A little bit inconsistent, but on a best effort, always be smart, I think fits as well. I have it 2, 4, 7, and 1.
9-4-2 for me. I have this race as wide open. Burn Rubber. Looking at the way this race may unfold is that I think the only other speed is the Linda Rice other runner, Dark Magic. I think there's an opportunity, and with Kendrick Carmouche, who's always ridden Burn Rubber number 9, I think there's a chance I'm going to have a good spot. And I also think if you have been watching the races with this head on, you see that 1 and 2 are not perfect, because 3 and 4, I've seen jockeys who recognize if they run straight, the turn is going to do their work for them by dictating the pace. Now, Drake's Passage, he lost the exacta at the start yesterday. He was never going to win. I don't think he ever would have won the race. But he lost the exacta because when he tried to make up the time, the turn did the work for the jock. 3 and 4 is always good. But Burn Rubber, I think, will get a better than you might suspect trip from the number 9 post position at a big price. Hasn't run since January 2nd. That was breaking the maiden for the tag. Linda Rice comes back. Now, right? Could you have run like for a waiver or something off this type of time, or running for less? I guess you can't, the 2L. But this is the right spot. If we're healthy, we go. I have Dark Magic, who I think also has good speed. Speed did well enough yesterday. And then True Connection, but I like a 15-1 over a 12-1 shot. I will say that I did think the race was wide open, which makes it easier for me to like a 15-1 shot on top.
That's not enough time to go for the waiver.
Okay.
Waiver's like 6 months.
Isn't it 7 months?
Dark Magic?
No, Burn Rubber.
Oh.
The outside horse. January 2nd.
But they come back for less. That's a good question. If they come back for less, I think then you're not.
Well, yeah, because she's going to have to, take on winners. So I don't know what the rules are, but
all right.
I like it. It's a wide open race. I like a 15-1 shot on top.
Race number 6, maiden specials going 5.5 on the grass.
3-1-4 for me. 9 entered in the main body. You have 4, 8 MTOs. 3-1-4 for me. We have 6 of the 9. The Rock Morton goes out for the second career start. I like the debut race with an asterisk, and that asterisk is it was on a sloppy sealed racetrack. But I like, good early energy, run worse. 9-2 on the morning line with Luis taking the mount back, was 7-2 on debut. Number 1, Donegal now, Todd Pletcher's runner. I saw a car on the Northway with a good velocity that had Keen Ice was the license plate.
Wow.
So, I have Donegal now, who owned by Donegal Racing, Keen Ice, who beat American
You would have to
Pharoah.
think that may have been one of their
Gypsy Art. I think Keen Ice was only like 3 for 24 lifetime.
One of them was right there.
314.
9, 5, 6, and 1. I am. You may regret not having the 5 in. As I understand, plenty of buzz about this one. I'll ask Mike Welch
you're
later.
On the,
No, I'm not. I read Mike Welch's column, and we'll ask Mike when he comes in.
I saw that too. I'm out. They're off, you lose.
They're also cross-entered in the stake, the Skidmore, I believe. But Wesley Ward said likely here if the weather holds, and it looks like it's
so he's
going
to be odds on.
So I debated, but this is my dark horse play of the day. So I'm taking a little shot in here. 9, 5, 6, and 1. Dark horse play of the day brought to you by the Dark Horse Mercantile in downtown Saratoga, as well as Impressions, their sister store just down the street on Broadway. Stop by, browse. You will enjoy your visit. But my dark horse is Green Screen. Oscar Performance. Interesting sire of win early types. This year, 24 first-time starters, 2 wins, a second, and 6 thirds. But one of those 2 wins was back on the 6th this month in a maiden special weight, 5.5 on the turf. So Oscar Performance, interesting to me. Graham Motion, you look at the numbers, hasn't started too many. Got 1 win at the meet so far, but it was the Saratoga Oaks the other day with the undefeated Laura Lynn. Overall, Graham is 1 for 15 with first-time starters at Saratoga over the last 3 years. 7 have been in the money, and 6 for 10 in the money with sprints. So at 8-1, this horse is interesting to me. I'm using it on the win end, obviously, but I think you have to have it in the mix. Dan produced a racing sibling, the lone racing sibling for this one, Green Eyed Lady, only a couple of starts, but a third and a second. The dam herself was third in debut and then won the second start over in Europe. I think Green Screen is very interesting at an 8-1 morning line in here. I'll make that my dark horse play of the day. Race number 6, horse number 9, Green Screen. Then we move on to the aforementioned Schwarzenegger. The dam won her debut by not this time, but boy, you look at those workouts and it's Wesley Ward with a turf sprinting 2-year-old. And as I say, the buzz is out on this one. So the one to beat, I think. And then Hawkeye State in the 3rd spot. Chad Summers is having a very nice meet. 2 of the 3 siblings to this one won their debut. Rock Your World got off to a nice start as a sire of win early types earlier this year and has done okay. 20 first-time starters, 3 wins, 3 seconds, 2 thirds. Not familiar with the jockey. That's a little bit intriguing, but otherwise there are some interesting things for Hawkeye State at 20-1. For me, 9, 5, 6, and 1. And I'll say yesterday's dark horse play of the day, Mia Sophia. Ooh, I had a little win place money and missed the place by that much at 23-1. I thought we were going by. I thought we had the momentum and go by, and then it became a head bob for the last few strides. We came up just a little short at 23-1. Had a $9 show price and 9+ show price in there. So just missed with a decent runner yesterday. We'll see what we can do today with the dark horse play of the day.
I'm not so sure this is going to be settled in 14 minutes for me. Take a quick break. When we come back, the feature.
It only takes one upset to make history, and now you can be part of Saratoga's long tradition at the Dark Horse Mercantile. The Dark Horse Mercantile offers a carefully curated selection of clothing, gifts, and home decor, from one-of-a-kind vintage racing memorabilia to select brands like Barber and Under Armour, as well as exclusive Dark Horse branded merchandise. So celebrate the Dark Horse in all of us at the Dark Horse Mercantile, downtown Saratoga, where the smart bet is always the Dark Horse.
A day at the track isn't complete without a night at the Horseshoe. Great food, hot music, and cold drinks. So why go downtown when all the action's just across from the track? The Horseshoe Inn at the corner of Nelson and Gridley.
You like free money? Well, Capital OTB gives its players plenty of opportunities to cash in. At Capital OTB, there are so many ways for horse players to receive bonus dollars by simply participating in promotions such as our bankrolls, bounty bets, online handicapping contests, and much, much more. Plus, with Capital OTB's Player Rewards program, you get actual cash back. So what are you waiting for? Log on today at CapitalOTB.com or CapitalOTBBet.com and claim your free money.
Come on.
I want sales reports on my desk by Monday.
Oops, my bad.
Love racing? RTN brings you every live simulcast on your home television, plus live video streaming and race replays on your PC and mobile devices. To order, visit rtn.tv. RTN, a breed apart.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't see it in print, but is this the Cab Callaway?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yesterday's Statue of Liberty, today.
So we got the Mile Inner Turf New York Stallion Series.
5, 3, 2, and 4. Number 5 being George Briggs for Peter Brandt and Chad Brown. Debut effort was very good against State Breds last November. Laid off and came back in a stakes race for the seasonal debut and only the second career start. Finished a decent third in March down at Gulfstream behind Mibago, who at that point in the year was a very nice turf, still a nice turf runner, but at that point in the year, I think was going well. So I think George Briggs maybe off another layoff, maybe set up to run very nicely in the third career start. Friend of the Devil is absolutely logical for Carlos Martin off the first 2 starts of the season so far, which were 2 nice wins, including a New York Stallion Series last time, June down Belmont at Aqueduct. So third start of the season, 2 for 2 so far. Very good. Clearly the one to beat. Third spot, I will use Butter for our friends at Eddie F's off a 4th place finish last time in the New York Derby out at the Finger Lakes, but the 2 starts just before that I think are square fits with this group. And Roddy Valente has River of Time. Another one I think is a player in here. In the 7th, I'm 5, 3, 2, and 4.
I think 6 of the 8 are alive. Others might say 5 of the 8 are alive, and my second pick is in the group that's out. But I'll get to him in a moment. For horizontal players, I'm just trying to split the baby here. I think this is the 3-5, and you move on. I do think it's a very competitive race, but I think the 3 and the 5 just have a significant enough edge to, if you're a horizontal, and I probably should not be giving out advice on horizontals, but it seems to me that I would take these 2 and move on. I do have Mo 88 adding blinkers today. I was surprised to see how big a price the Joel Rosario runner has. I think we're going to sit a good trip because I think there's going to be a clear out. I think Joel is going to be able to sit along the 27-foot out rail. 3-8-5 in the Cab Callaway.
Race number 8 this afternoon, Maiden Claimers traveling 7 furlongs.
Well, this was a race where not only the first-time taggers, and it's because of the nature, and I've talked about this, where you have basically the 2 levels, maiden 50s and maiden 20s. And you talk about if you think there's a difference between maiden special weights down in for a tag. I think there's a difference going for the prices. And I have, I think, 9 are running for either the lowest price that they've done or tied for the lowest. I'm 163 in here. Nance, I think for a maiden claiming 20,000, I like Nance very much in here, I must say, ladies and gentlemen. The par, I think, is reachable. They have it listed for this race. I'm inside. Nance is 6-1, probably my second favorite play of the day. Levitating in here for Tom Amos off $30,000 today. And then Gray Ace, who I like at double-digit odds, but trainer and jockey, I think, are both still on the duck. So, it's late in the meet, but you get a good price. They add blinkers. I'll take my chances. 163.
10, 4, 2, and 1 up a proposition on top for Steve Asmussen on another drop. Dropped in for a tag 2 back and ran a well-beaten 4th. Dropped further last time. Well-beaten 7th. But they cut back today and get a further drop. I think both of those put this horse in a very good spot, and Irod jumps on board. So I'll go with Preposition in the top spot, Freedom Maker underneath. Similar, the last couple of starts, the last few starts aren't much, but drops down to the lowest level yet. And I think for the Linda Rice runner, that is going to turn out to be productive. Particularly last time showed some speed, going longer, so cuts back further class relief and blinkers on. Freedom Maker, hopefully a player, and then Seeker's Hope in the third spot. Another one that moves down to that bottom level and can benefit, I would think, from the last couple of starts on the turf, moves back to the dirt. Now, the two dirt starts to begin the career weren't much, but they were against better. I'll look for this one with experience and now going turf to dirt with a drop to maybe get a better effort on the dirt, I'm hoping for. Let's put it that way. 10-4, 2-1.
We'll take our final break. When we come out, the last Daily Double.
Want to get your career in horse racing off to a fast start? Well, the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program is your winning ticket. The Racetrack Industry Program has served as a springboard to some of the industry's most successful individuals, with a proven track record of job placement right out of college. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry, the Racetrack Industry Program can put you in the winner's circle.
For more than 4 generations, Bruce Cerrone and his family have continued the 103-year tradition of delighting their local following and faithful summer crowd with the finest authentic Italian recipes. Classic Italian dishes made with the freshest ingredients, served in a home-like setting. Some things have changed in the last 103 years, but not Pinnell's commitment to the finest in Italian cuisine. Pinnell's Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, just minutes from the track.
Sometimes it pays to go with the flow, to check your worries at the door, to reconnect with your crew, to follow the thrills and the flavor, to roll with it and see where it takes you, to enjoy every minute to its fullest, and to dance like there's no tomorrow. You can do that here at Rivers Casino and Resort Schenectady, where the good times flow.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Race number 9. Optional claim will starter allowance, 8.5 on the Mellon turf.
I have a 3, 7, 1, and 9. I'll put Enlighten on top. Tom Morley runner comes in off a nice try last time. Claimed away from Todd Pletcher. Moves into the Tom.
I don't think I'm getting out of here today.
It's hard not to.
I 7 miles an hour, 5 or 6. It's like.
And if you weren't tuned in earlier, there was a little collision. Now they've been doing paperwork, but one of them tried to drive away, and they're no, you're not done yet. So Enlighten off of the claim, again, claimed away from Todd Pletcher, moves into the Tom Morley barn. He does well off the claim, but again, they claimed away from Todd Pletcher. But overall, this horse fires very good numbers as compared to this bunch. So off this start back in the middle of July, a near miss effort. I'm going to look for this one to be heard from down the lane for sure. Steadfast Resolve in the second spot. George Weaver trainee. And again, he has had a very nice meet. Getting some class relief, I think, will be very beneficial. Broke the maiden going back a few starts for this tag. And then they faced stiffer since. I think they're just getting realistic. And for the most part, have done well against, Saltier Company. Last time, not so much, though. But I think they're getting back to a nice level here. And then in the third spot, Brits Witt, a runner for America's Pastime Stables. They were in the winner's circle yesterday after the stakes race. They had bred the Dave Donk runner. So congratulations to the folks at America's Pastime, local ownership group, but they come in with Brits Witt. Third start off a little bit of an early season layoff with improving numbers. I think is a player here as well for Mike Maker. 3, 7, 1, and 9.
The race goes through Enlighten, but I thought after that it's like, so I'm 1-8-3 here. I take Brits Witt, who's scheduled to break for the number 3 post position off of a good effort. Now, this is third race into a cycle. Enlightened is second race into a cycle after a very, very nice spot effort. I have Fredo for all Godfather fans. a very, very consistent runner. I'm on the outside. Save a little bit of ground here with Luis Saez, 183 in the ninth.
You say for Godfather fans, and I wonder if it's named, but would you want to name a horse after Fredo?
No, he's not the one.
No.
The great the great reuse of that thought, or the use of that thought, was in Analyze This, when De Niro has Billy Crystal as his psychiatrist, and he goes, "Me, Fredo? I don't think so."
That is good. 10, 7, 1, and 8. Wait, I got to introduce the race. I started.
All right, no more Godfather. It takes him off his game. He sees his first guest in the green. The accident has cleared. There is so much going on that you don't see.
But I will put the exclamation point on the Godfather conversation, in that the first two come up on TV. You got to watch. I mean, that's one of the very few, two of the very few movies that I can watch a million.
I agree.
10th and final
Jaws
today.
Is on that list for me too.
Not so much for me. It's good, but 10th and final today at Saratoga. Maiden Claimers, state-bred Maiden Claimers, 8.5 furlongs on the grass.
Did you go in the water in the summer of 75?
I did. I was
okay. 110.7 for me. I'm attracted to this card. I could end up, being, shot out, but you had the two favorites, the 7 and the 10. Seth has them, in an exacta form. I was just taking a flyer here with David Dunk, who 2 days ago I had no idea Seth was going to have on. Deemer on the outside of the main body at 6-5. First time in for the tag, second start of the year, first time Lasix, and then Miguelson's out the 7. 110.7. Just looking for a flyer in this race. I mean, the two favorites are, as Seth would say, the logicals.
10, 7, 1, and 8. I will put the Cherie DeVoe runner on top. Deemer came back from a layoff and ran, an okay third. I don't think the horse is invincible, but what we see number-wise matches up really well with this bunch. Now, Nigel for Miguel Clement tossed in a number that's comparable with the top pick in the career debut. That was back in the middle of July. So if we can move forward off of that, then Wind Dancer put in a pretty good number last time. That was a little bit of an aberration unless you go down the page further. But there's a number of dirt races in there that maybe you can kind of toss. And if you look at only the turf races, then the number is, again, a little bit inconsistent, but more consistent when you look at the turf. In the 10th, 10, 7, 1, and 8.
All right, that wraps up Thursday's card. A little warm, a little sticky. Hopefully the humidity gets out of here. He stays, I go. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.
This has been the Handicappers Report, brought to you by CapitalOTBBet.com, the premier online wagering site in New York State. CapitalOTBBet.com. Sign up today. And the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany. Make it to the Clubhouse Racebook.